Hey, this is Pete Crayson. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the latest version of my target trackers I've been using with students. And target trackers really go hand in hand with teacher clarity. The effect size of teacher clarity from John Hattie is about a 0.75. So you could see there, that's really phenomenal growth beyond 1 year's growth in 1 year's time for sure. Every target tracker I've created over the years is always based around those three questions you guys are already very familiar with. The where am I now, where am I going, where to next. So the where am I now, in this global issues target tracker, you could see they're putting evidence of understanding from each lesson that we would do. The why for the lesson, why is it important, the learning target for the lesson, the rating of how comfortable they feel with the information they learned that day, and then where to next, a plan of action for further growth if they're confused or if they want to learn more about that topic. For APUSH, I've created a lot of different ones over the years, but the last few years, I was using one that was built around learning objectives. So for every historical period in the curriculum, College Board had learning objectives, sometimes, somewhere between 10 to 12 of them. And I'd have a box for students to write down evidence that could go really well with that objective if it were to be an essay, for example. And I would explain to them, the LEQs were a lot of times just sort of these objectives reworded. So in essence, it became more practical. This target tracker was built around helping students compile evidence throughout the year to answer potential LEQ questions and DBQ questions. This year, though, I'm having a lot of fun with the newest target tracker. It is built around like a video game skill tree. That's the style, the format. As students earn points for different skills, like being able to do a thesis statement, contextualization, use evidence, they unlock the skill in the skill tree, and they could color it green or whatever color they want, really, to show progress towards earning a 5 in APUSH. For the chart, I used Google Drawings, and I could embed the Google Drawings into a Google Doc, and that's what this is here. So students just double click on the Google Drawing, it opens up the skill tree, and they can manipulate the skill tree, add the dates that they earn the different points, and unlock the different skills and whatnot. So kind of gamifies it in a way. I mean, I think it's really cool. I like to look at that, and I think students probably feel a good sense of accomplishment as they work up that skill tree. At least that's the intention. So we'll see if it kind of works out that way. And since they have to be extremely disciplined throughout the year in order to understand all the content and really harness all the skills, there is a weekly plan or routine that they need to get used to. So this is a helpful way to keep them accountable to that routine and to be able to have discussions with me about that routine and to be able to even have discussions with parents about how progress could be improved. So here you see every chapter we do. Every chapter is a week, so chapter 1. And you can see the requirements that we have in the APUSH team. Every week there's a note learn that students have to do. Every week there's annotations for the book. Every week there's an Edpuzzle video with questions. The chapter review is optional, but this is an opportunity for them to show that they're doing extra above and beyond to try to make sure they're understanding the content every week. There's an area for the reading quiz score for that week, so they can track that as well and see if all those annotations and all the note learn and all these interventions they're doing for themselves are actually making a difference. At the end of a unit, they take the multiple choice exam and they get 2 takes on it. First try, what did you get? Second try, what did you get? And then all the way to the right, there's this blue box for interventions. And that is for anything they're doing on a week-to-week basis, trying new things out maybe. Maybe they're coming to intervention and they note that they went to intervention on Tuesday to get some help on content, or they went on Thursday to get some help with SAQs, short answer questions. Maybe they went to the study center and they note that. Maybe they had a study session with a friend. Maybe they're using a Princeton review book or another type of review book that week, and that's something different, a new intervention. I also have a section for FRQ, pre-response question skills, SAQs, LEQs, DBQs. What are they struggling in? What's their plan of action? When do they work on different interventions? And finally, I didn't want to let go of the old target tracker completely. So the College Board learning objectives, I still included that here. And students can, if they want, they can go through and for every learning objective throughout the unit, see if they can name 2-3 pieces of evidence that would go well with that objective in case there was, in fact, an LEQ on it. Ultimately, if students know all these learning objectives and have a couple items of evidence that they associate with it, they're going to know all the content they really need to know for the course. The goal is to create students who are empowered learners, students who know where they're lacking or where they could improve, and know how to chart a course towards progress. And I think this is a really practical way to do that. All right, well, that about wraps it up. I hope this was helpful, or at the very least interesting, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.